Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
On FBC News tonight, thousands turn up for military recruitment at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Namboa. Constitution to be ready by the end of August. And rise in sexual offences concern police. Good evening and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. A Fijian has died on peacekeeping duties in Sinai. Military Land Force Commander Colonel Mosese Tikoitonga confirms the incident happened yesterday. He says the deceased was a junior non-commissioned officer whose name will not be made public until his family has been informed. An autopsy is being carried out in Israel and a full report will be sent over after completion. The RFMF will await the remains of the soldier and will accord him full military honours. Close to 4,000 young men and women flooded the Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Namboa this morning as the military kicked off its recruitment drive. Apisalomedoka was there.
Youths from far and wide, even high school students, turned up at the military headquarters. Some even waited from 5 a.m. just to be the first ones through the gate.
In Suba this morning, about 4,000 people turned up, and the same number can be expected tomorrow. Lautoka and Masa could have the same numbers as Suba, so in these days, the numbers could be as high as 10,000.
Officers at UEB had to increase the interview panel, overwhelmed by the turnout.
Nanonda matintu menunggovich. Yo ekandara wikima mina levi dikimem sa boskaitale na bukuni yambaki. Nambaki tursangabulu lakodaki. Kim sa boskaitale na singapur.
Colonel Tikoitonga says similar numbers also showed up at the Lautoka and Lambasa barracks, and they've decided to cancel the second recruitment drive next year.
Because of the high number of turnout, it has been decided that there will be only one interview for the 900 required, 450 for this year and 450 for next year. There will no longer be any interview next year.
Out of these hopefuls, Colonel Tikoitonga says they expect many to turn away disappointed because the military is looking to only hire 900 new recruits. Apisolomedoka, FBC News.
Acting Fijian Prime Minister and Attorney General has confirmed to FBC News that the Constitution will be finalized by next month. He says the Constitution will be available in 3 languages, English, Hindi and Itoke. Syed Qayyum says the public will be able to review the document in the next few weeks.
As we said, that we're given some indicative time frames for the Constitution to be completed. As you know, that the main part is that we're also getting it completed or translated, I should say, in the vernacular languages. That is very critical. Government believes, the Benirama government believes that the Constitution needs to be made available in the vernacular so everybody has a good understanding of it and they don't necessarily get misled.
Syed Qayyum has indicated the Constitution will be finalized after it's translated into the 2 vernacular languages. The Commerce Commission doesn't have the power to deliberate on a complaint by the now suspended Fiji Labour Party about high fees. An acting Fijian Prime Minister Ayaz Syed Qayyum says the party's claims are unfounded. Chanel Shivan with the details.
The FLP had earlier written to the Commerce Commission on the high fees for the publication of its assets and liabilities in the Fiji Sun. Ayaz Syed Qayyum says the law is pretty clear-cut. Non-compliance results in suspension.
The question of whether the Commerce Commission has jurisdiction over this particular issue, whether they have the legal ability to make a determination regarding it, it does not. And the Commerce Commission has already written to the Labour Party saying it does not have that legal authority to make a determination in that respect. But nonetheless, they have in fact gone ahead and compared the rates that was charged by the Fiji Sun in respect of the advertisement, and they have also found the fact that the rates that Fiji Sun charged were cheaper.
the now suspended Fiji Labour Party was to pay about $6,300 to the registrar's office by Monday.
The fact is that the registrar of political parties obviously has taken the decision for the suspension of the Fiji Labour Party on the basis that there was non-compliance with the actual law in place. Should the political party in question remedy the breach, then obviously they can again operate as a political party, and they're given 60 days to remedy the breach.
A representative from the suspended Fiji Labour Party, Surendra Lal, told FBC News yesterday that arrangements are now being made to pay the registrar of political parties. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Statistics reveal that sexual offence cases are rife in urban centres. The Fiji Police Force says 2,980 such cases were reported last year.
Under the crimes decree, there are 17 offences categorised as offences against public morality. These include rape, sexual assault, defilement of person under the age of 16, among others.
Rape is top, and second highest is the indecent annoying a person. The prominent areas are urban areas. These are the ones that are reported, but we really cannot tell the one that is still hidden under the carpet.
It's also been noted that most of that perpetrators fall in the 35 to 55 age group.
Yes, most of the perpetrators are known to the victim. It's more like a home environment where perpetrators are known to the victims. Most of the cases that are reported, the perpetrators are known to the victims. It's sad to note that most of them are blooded relations.
Another shocking trend is that more young offenders are involved in sexual crimes than in previous years.
It goes back to the basic, where parental supervision is really vital for all of us, because this is where everything starts from home. So it's important for parents to be vigilant with supervising their children.
The force believes there needs to be more awareness on what constitutes a sexual offence. It also says that seeing an increase in the number of reported cases indicates that women are aware of their rights. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The police are warning people to be careful of those claiming to be traditional healers or witch doctors. This warning comes as investigation continues into the unexplained death of a 53-year-old Tavua woman on Monday. A 23-year-old suspect with a reputation for posing as a healer is being questioned in regard to the woman's death at the Tavua police station. Police say they can't prevent people from seeking treatment from witch doctors and others who claim special powers, and individuals should ensure their own safety.
Sometimes we're faced with situations where we make drastic decisions out of desperation, but people should also always err on the side of caution when it comes to allowing people into their homes.
The Fiji Police Force says that people should not rely on word of mouth about getting treatment from witch doctors. Coming up, MSG Trade Expo to set the benchmark for the Pacific.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Seed Music.
Nimbula methangu nimilote na isaro tambua na makiao minarua kinaona na veka vimoniti kina vakarambuka rongo mena biasama kina vibaga barota kinindre komalolo ena radio Fiji 1 na wongani pioniano ngai na makiao kina.
Welcome back. You're with FBC News. The Association of South Pacific Airlines is hoping Fiji Airways will be able to negotiate contentious issues with regional airlines at their annual general meeting in Nandi this week. The national carrier holds the key to code sharing between Air Vanuatu and Solomon Airlines and the monopoly it holds over flights to Kiribati. Christopher Chant reports.
ESPA is the regional body for airlines. It wants outstanding issues between these companies sorted by the end of this meeting.
Hopefully by tomorrow we'll be able to resolve some of the contentious issues that we have, for instance, between Vanuatu and Fiji and Solomon Islands and Fiji and Kiribati and Fiji. So, you know, Air Pacific plays a vital role in this scenario.
In September last year, Fiji suspended Air Kiribati flights between Nadi and Tarawa, which was operated by Nauru's national carrier, Our Airline. In December, Fiji also terminated codeshare arrangements with Air Vanuatu and advised them that they can't codeshare with Solomon Airlines over the route to Nadi.
This is the only forum that they can address those issues, and my personal view is that we haven't really making the best use of the forum. We tend to shy away from contentious issue, but I said to the members yesterday, if we don't address it here, then we will never ever address it.
Factophone says the airlines have been holding talks about these concerns with Fiji Airways since yesterday.
The message is well received. They recognize now that the Pacific is too small for us to be competing with one another. We can compete in Australia and New Zealand, but there's not enough market for us to compete. We're too small for that, so I think they're taking the message home.
ESPA was formed in 1979 to help improve air transport service between the Pacific Islands. The one thing they hope to achieve is to get the airlines to work more closely. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
And Chris now joins us live from Nadi. Chris, how are these talks progressing?
Thanks, Amrita. ESPA hopes these issues will be solved the Pacific way by talks between the airlines. But it seems these concerns may need to be taken to a higher government level. But if you look at it, in the end, it's the passengers who will benefit if these talks come through. They'll be able to get more connecting flights to Fiji from destinations like Port Vila, Honiara and Tarawa. For now, the regional body hopes the AGM will be able to solve these controversies internally.
Pinaka Chris. 5 Melanesian countries will converge on Nadi next month for a trade exposition. The Denarau Expo is another step by the Melanesian Spearhead Group to stamp their mark in business across the region. Mika Longa reports.
The Trade Expo will include products from Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands and New Caledonia, showing that they have what it takes to be industrialized countries.
The market in MSG countries is almost, you're looking at almost 11 to 12 million, and that is a big market, though there are others outside of Fiji, and hence that is one key element. And second, when you look at working together with MSG countries as what this government is doing, it's a catalyst.
Investment Fiji will invite private companies to the expo and is creating awareness on investment opportunities in Fiji and its Melanesian partners.
There are gaps that each of countries have, and where we can work to address them. And similarly, in areas when you look at new investments in Fiji or outside of Fiji, those are opportunities that we have. And of course, there are trade agreements and that are available where each of these countries can work together to ensure that we elevate ourselves much more.
There are plans also for PNG, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu and New Caledonia to join Fiji in its trade missions to China and India later in the year.
We will see after our meeting during the August meeting whether they are interested to do jointly, but for us that is our plan within the next 5 to 6 months.
Fiji and Papua New Guinea believe the MSG countries have the human resource, business expertise and the natural resources to become allies in the commercial sector, and in doing so they can become self-reliant. Nikolonga, FBC News.
A Fijian who helped rebuild the Solomon Islands after World War II has made a home there, a symbol of the sacrifices Fijians made protecting the Pacific. 87-year-old Petean Delai Virata left Fiji at the tender age of 17 and has no regrets about his choices in life. Akasita Tale has the story.
He sailed to the Solomons in 1951, recruited by the Pacific West High Commission. Originally from Nakasaleka in Kandavu, Petaya Delaiverata was an engineer with the then PWD. In Honiara, he was given the responsibility of rebuilding the country's only hospital with about 100 laborers.
The
hospital then that was here was called Number 9. The Americans named their hospitals in the Pacific as Number 1, Number 2, and so forth. Number 9 was the one here at Honiara that was to be demolished.
He soon became a highly respected, trusted, and a well-known figure amongst the locals and was honored with a member of the British Empire Award. Petaya, after completing the hospital, was asked to go back and given charge developing 7 of the 9 provinces in the Solomons using his skills and experience.
Given this task, I had to be an electrician, no plumbing, carpentry work, and all those were all under my care.
In 1959, he took his wife across to Honiara, knowing that he was going to make a home in the Solomons. Eleanor Delaiverata then worked as the matron of the College of Education for 21 years. Petaya last came to Fiji in 1979. This may well have been his last trip to his country of birth. Akusita Talei, FBC News.
Chair of the G77 Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has called on members of the developing world to focus on one important goal. He says helping ordinary people see possibilities, seize opportunities and create new wealth and prosperity is at the root of what South-South cooperation is ultimately about. Bainimarama made the comments at the high-level South-South Forum on ICT and Sustainable Development in Hong Kong this week. He said the collective agenda must seek to tackle the causes of poverty, exclusion and inequality so that neither income nor gender nor disability nor geography will exclude anyone from the benefits of development. Bainimarama added that today's technology must be accessible and affordable to everyone. We join Jamie now for sports.
I'm Rita, good to have you on board tonight.
For us tonight.
Well, it's the FRU and its need for sponsorship and preparations for the sports awards gain momentum. Details coming up.
Isambol binaka, nadango wadi soni dalai, nama kyo mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, maina tolu kina bitu, enamoni tingina por rombuka, enambula FM, nabandu enaserre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. First up tonight, the Fiji Rugby Union will need to secure more sponsorship deals if they hope to make a turnaround from last year's $600,000 deficit. With a November tour to Europe confirmed and plans to start contracting sevens players underway, Rugby House says all this will need sponsorship. Shelvin Chan reports.
It was a loss of $600,000 last year and all of it attributed to lack of sponsorship. Now with plans to contract up to 24 sevens players, sponsorship is something that must come through.
Only way to ensure consistency and maintaining a core group is to work towards contracting of sevens players. And that is something that we have all agreed to, and it's a matter of now talking with potential sponsors on the financing.
Digicel, who have been the biggest supporters of sevens rugby, have their contract expiring at the end of the year.
I may not be able to disclose the names, but there are good offers coming to FRU now, and we will pick up momentum when the contract of Digicel expires this year.
There is also the question of the naming rights of the Fiji Sevens team, as the IRB 7 series starts before the end of the year.
Also talking with potential sponsors for those sevens tournaments that are planned for later this year. We have a finance and marketing subcommittee that have met with some parties last week and also this week.
After 6 months, FRE's coffers are showing a marginal profit, but that's not enough for the tours and plans that Rugby House has. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
In the Escort Shield, the DHL Raiwanga side proved too strong for Covenant Blues after they bulldozed their way to an 18-12 win last night at the NZ Stadium. Raiwanga, with much better forward play, was the only team to cross the try line. Covenant's points came off the boots of Osea Kolinisau. In the other quarter-final, Army Green had a tough time against Lomai Viti as they just edged to a 2018 win. The results yesterday mean that Raiwanga will now face defending champions Navy in the semi-final next Wednesday in a repeat of last year. In the first semi-final next week, Army takes on Police Blues. And organizers of the Fiji Sports Awards are anticipating a good turnout for the annual event this year. Preparations are gaining momentum toward the event that will celebrate our sporting achievements for 2012. Chalinda Dakadaka reports.
Almost 80 nominees have been lined up for honors at the Fiji Sports Awards to be held next Friday. Organizers believe each of the nominees deserve recognition for their contribution to sports in the country.
We don't have a process of shortlisting nominees, so every nominee is in there for the win. And every one of these nominees is a winner just being nominated.
And a figure well known to Fijians will be the speaker at the awards.
But our guest speaker this year will be Mr. Eric Rush. He has visited Fiji on many occasions and has been an inspiration to a lot of our youth.
Organizers also received the boost from Tetsloto Fiji towards the awards night.
We hope that by doing this, it inspires youth and inspires our sporting public to act and to have a centrepiece to come to, that they know that there's awards to be won, and it just may give the incentive of a future world champion.
Awards will be given out in 11 categories. About 700 guests are expected for the event at the Vodafone Arena in Lodala Bay. Tsalendo Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
The 2013 Fiji Sun GP Batteries National Football League has been hailed a success. The sponsors and Fiji football are happy with the way things have progressed this season. And with Mba set to win the league title once again, hopes are already high. Next season will be bigger and better. Indra Singh has more.
The 2013 National League winner could be determined this weekend. However, the overall league season has been given the thumbs up by the organizers.
Very happy with the way the National Football League has, GP Battery National Football League has progressed this year. And I think the concept that has been put in place has been very successful. And I'm pretty sure that next year is going to be much more exciting than what we have seen this year.
While the league is all set to round off for another season, Fiji FA has been impressed with what they have seen this year.
National League, the way it's shaping up now, all of the top teams have decided the second position is still open and the contest is growing up. That's a good sign.
While the recent Nigerian scandal involving players has also been highlighted by Fiji Football Association.
The teams will have to be careful with the registration and they have to sort this out. The immigration authority issues are with the district association and they will have to sort this out before they do that.
If Bar wins the league this weekend, it will be yet another title in their cabinet. But one thing which is for sure is that Fiji FA has got the total backing of its sponsors. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Fiji's Epelin Roma continues his fine form at the South Pacific World Hobie Cat Championships in Suva. After his surprise win in the first race yesterday, he made it a double, winning today's first race as well. Based on how the final results of the day stand, he could lead overnight heading into the final day tomorrow. That was your sports for tonight. It's back to Amrita for business.
Ginger farmers need to get their quota before planting begins next month. This information is available at the two processing plants, Freshpack and Kai Ming. Deputy Permanent Secretary for Agriculture Uraya Waimbuta says without a quota, farmers may end up with no market for their immature ginger. Only 3,500 tons of ginger is required by overseas buyers. Waimbuta adds Fiji has done well in production because farmers have been working hard. And it's weather time. Hi Jen, surprised to see me tonight?
Hi, I'm Rita. Was a bit excited for a moment there. Thought we'd reached the weekend already. Not much has changed in Suva and Savu-Savu, but we did have the same conditions in the normally sunny Western Division and Lambasa. There was some sun in the morning though, before the cloudiness and rain settled in towards the afternoon. And it was another day for comfy jackets and cardigans. Temperatures were all in the 20s again. Savu-Savu was the coldest at 25, while Nandi and Lambasa the warmest by only 2 degrees. Rain and lots of it is the forecast for tomorrow. Looking at all these clouds just makes me appreciate Fridays even more. Now, can you guess where this is? That's right, it's Savu-Savu Bay, beautifully captured by Rajiv Raj. Thanks so much, Rajiv. Awesome picture. That's weather. Thanks for joining me. Until the next photo, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks, Genevieve. The headlines once again, a Fijian has died on peacekeeping duties in Sinai, but details remain unknown. Thousands turn up for military recruitment around Fiji, and rise in sexual offences concern police. Time for the opinion poll question. Is Fiji emerging as a Melanesian spearhead group leader? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's news tonight. Have a good evening. Odemanda.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5
हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्ची एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।